Welcome to Palm Closet, guys. Today I'm going to be making a crochet halter top. We are going to decorate the top with all these beads. So what do we need for this project? We will need the cotton yarn. This is the German brand Cotton, 100%. One ball with 50 grams, 115 meters per ball. We will need around 60-70 grams of this. This is suitable for crochet knitting. The needle we are gonna use today is the number 4mm crochet hook. We will need the yarn needles, pair cutter, the tape measure, and some beads. I have found this online, so you can use any type of beads that you can find. To start with, I always leave the end for sewing later, and we do the little loop, the slip knot, and then change up to 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we're starting from the top downwards to the under the breadth, and then we change 4. You do the double crochets on the 4th stitch, like this, then chain 1, and then you skip two stitches, go to the 3rd one with double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and then you chain 1 in between the V stitch, and then skip 2, go to the 3rd one, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and then chain 1, skip 2, go to the 3rd one. So keep doing this until you reach the end of the row. At the end of the row you will end up having 8 V's, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is row 1. For row 2, chain 4, turn the work, and you do double crochet on the 1st stitch where you start to change. Do double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, go to the next one. So we need to add the V on this row, on the 2nd row. So the next V double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, and then the rest you just need to do the V in the V stitch. So where you chain 1 here. So double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet, chain 1 in between the V, double crochets, 1 chain, double crochet, 1 chain. So I will repeat this in every single of the V stitches here, and this is the last V, so I'm going to repeat the other side by adding 1 more V on this stitch. So you do, after chain 1, and then do the double crochets, chain 1, double crochet in this stitch, and then chain 1, and then you skip 1 stitch, you go to the next one, and then do the V by doing double crochets, 1 chain, 1 double crochet on this same stitch. So that row 2 is completed. So we're adding the V on this row, and for next row, row 3, We don't have to add anything. We're just going to repeat the same amounts of the V as row 2 by changing 3, 4 actually from the beginning of the row, and do the double crochets, chain 1. So this is supposed to be the V, chain 1, then move on to the next V, doing double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 in between the V, move on to the next one, double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet, in between do 1 chain, double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet, and in between 1 chain. So I will keep doing this until I reach the last V here. Here's the end of row 3. You will end up having 3, 6, 9, 10 of the V's, and for the 4th row we need to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to repeat row 2 by adding 1 V on the edge here. So 4 chain, double crochet, 1 chain in between, and then skip 1, you go to the next stitch, double crochet, 1 chain, double crochets, 1 chain in between the V. The rest just do the V on top of the previous V. So I will meet you at the end of the row, which is the last V. So you do 1 V here and then 1 chain, skip 1 stitch, go to the next one and do another V. Here's at the end of row 4. So you got 1 more V added on each side, and row 5 you need to chain 3, 4. So repeat row 3. We don't have to add any V. So do the V on top of each V. After chain 4, do 1 double crochet here. In between the V, just chain 1. Next V, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 in between the V. So keep repeating this until you reach the end of the last V here. At the end of row 5, you will end up having 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 V's. And the 6th row we need to chain 4, and we are going to add 1 more V on this page, and then chain 1, skip 1, do 1 more. So repeat row, I would say the row where you added the stitches, where you added the V. And for the next one, chain 1 and then do the V on top of each V. So repeat this until you reach the end of the last V, and then you add 1 more V here, skip 1, add another V. At the end of row 6, you will end up having something like this. And for row 7, chain 4, turn the work, and do the V without any increasing. Keep repeating the V on top of each V, and then I will meet you at the end of the row. Here's the end of row 7. You will have 3, 6, 9, 10, 14 V's. For row 8, chain 3. So now we need to do chain 3, do 1 double crochets on the next stitch, in the same stitch as where we started to do, to chain 3, and then I will go for 1 double crochets next to it, and the next stitch 2 double crochets. So you will have 5 of these double crochets, and then chain 1. Move on to the next V. So we are going to repeat the V for the rest of the row except the last V. We're gonna repeat the same as this side by doing the 2 double crochet, 1 chain, 2 double crochet in the last V, and don't forget to chain 1 before you reach this part. Here is the end of row 8. So you have the both sides the same. For row 9, chain 3, and then we need to make 7 double crochet on this one. So I will go 1 here, 1 double crochets, the next stitch double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the last stitch we need to add 2 double crochets. So this row here you have 5 double crochets, on this row you will have 7, and then you chain 1. On this one next to it you just do 1 double crochets, and then chain 1. Move on to the next V and then just repeat the V. So we only need to do 1 double crochet before you do the next V. This is the difference. Chain 1, the rest just do the normal V except the V, the V before you do this part here. So this one you do the double crochets and chain 1 in between the V always, and then do 7 more on top of these double crochets, and the last V after chain 1 you just need to do 1 double crochets and then chain 1 in between. So we need to do the 7 double crochet on this one. I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we did 2 double crochets on the first stitch. The next one, so 3, 4, 5, and then the last stitch you need to do 2 double crochets. So you will end up having 7 double crochets in total, the same as the other side. And for next row, chain 3. So we need to do now 9 of these on the double crochets here. So I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 and 9 in the same stitch here. After that you need to chain 1. So now skip this one, skip the double crochet one, move over to the V. So we do the V. So we're now reducing the side and adding more of these double crochets and chain 1. The rest just do the V stitches on top of each V till you reach the last. It's the last V, and chain 1 and add 9 double crochets on this side as well. So exactly the same as on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last stitch, and you will have the same amount of the stitches as on this side. And I put a stitch markers on so I know this is row 10, just in case I lost count. So for row 11 need to change 3, and then so we have 5, 7, 9, so this time we need 11, so 2 stitches adding on each row. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last 2, 10, 11, and then chain 1. So this row we need to repeat the previous row. After chain 1, just do the V by doing double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochets, and the rest you just do the V on top of each V. This side, so repeat the same as on the other side as well. The last V, and then chain, and then add 11 stitches. So you have the same amount of the stitches as on this side. Here is row 11. For row 12 we need to repeat row 9, but still keep adding the side by chain 3. So this time you need 13 because we increasing the 2 stitches on each of these, on each side of these rows here. But this part you need to repeat row 9 by chain 1 double crochet, and then chain 1, and then do the rest with the V, and repeat on the other side exactly the same. At the end of the row you will have something similar to this. And for the next row, change 3, turn the work, and this time we're going to add 15 on each side, and then we chain 1, and then we need to do the V. So repeat these 2 rows, repeat the row, I think this is row 10 and row 11. So repeat these 2 rows. We need the V on the side here. This one we repeat row 9. So the next row 9, 10, 11. For 12 and 13 we repeat row 10 and 11. But the side here you still need to add. This row we're gonna need, let me count, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This row is 15, and the next row will be 17 of these double crochets on each side. And I will meet you at the end of row 14. I'm at the end of row 14, and the double crochets on each side here is 17, and you can see here's the V without any double crochets. And the next row we need to do, here is 17, 18, 19, we need to do 19 on the double crochets row. So by changing 3, and you do 19 of these. Now we need to repeat this row, which is row 12. After 17, after 19 double crochets, chain 1 and do 1 double crochets on the first V. So exactly the same as this row, just repeat the double crochet, the rest do the V. And for the next 2 rows you need to keep adding on this side and do 2 rows of this V. So that's gonna be row, this row 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 15 will be the same as this, 15, 16, 17, but still adding the extra two stitches of each rows. And I will meet you after you've done all these 3 rows. I'm now at the end of row 17, and the side of the tops here where you do the double crochet, so I have 23 of them, and the rows on this side is also 23. So the row you will have the V, so the 2 V rows on the side and 1 double crochet. So the next 3 row we need to repeat this and this row by turning the work. So you crochet turning the work. So the next row would be, so this one 23, the next one would be 25 with the 1 double crochets on the side, and then do 2 more like this. So after you've done these 3 rows, I will get back to you, and then we check. I'm now at the end of row 20, and I have 29 double crochets on the side, on this right side and on the left side, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 V stitches left. Now we need to repeat this row again. So the 1 double crochets alone, and then repeat 2 more of the V stitches row. So I will continue doing the 3 more rows, like this row, this row, and this row, and I will meet you at the end of the row 23. At the end of row 23, I have the double crochets on the side, both sides, so I have 35 of them on each side, and I have the 2 V stitches here left. So what we need to do next, for row 24, I need to repeat this row where you have only 1 double crochets on each of these V. The rest just do the double crochet stitches. So you just turn the work, change 3, always go to the first change, and the rest just do double crochets until you reach this part here. Do 1 chain after this, and do 1 double crochets here, 1 chain, 1 double crochets here, 1 chain, and then add the sides with the 2 stitches as normal. The rest just do the double crochets until the last stitch with 2 double crochets. We're still increasing the side with the double crochet stitches, so you can see the shape. And I will meet you at the end of this row. Here is the end of row 24, and you have the 2 double crochets on top of the V from the previous row, and the last row we're gonna do only the double crochets in each of the stitches, except the side we're still adding 2 more stitches. So what I mean is you still need to increasing the side by chain 3, turn the work. So this stitch here is the adding, this is the increasing stitches, and the rest of the row you need to do only the double crochets till you reach the middle part. So on this middle part here you will have 2 double crochets in the same stitch, just like the other rows, and you skip 1 and you do 1 double crochets on top of these previous row, and then you have the one chain. You just do the double crochet on top of this stitch, and one more on top of these double crochet rows, and then you skip one. Do 2 double crochets on this stitch, and the rest of the row just do the double crochets, except the last stitch you do 2 double crochets. At the end of the row you will have something like this, and I will do the 2 single crochets on each of the double crochet rows here. So keep repeating this until you reach the top part of this halter top, so which is on this one, and then you just do single crochet in each of these available stitches until you reach the last one, and then you do 2 single crochet on each of these double crochet rows until you reach the end here, and then we cut off. So far I have this shape of the top, so I will measure this for you. The top part here. The top part is around 4.5 inches. And the bottom part could go up to 21 inches. So now we need to do the strings for the top. 4 sides. We need one here, and 2 more on the side to tie it on the back. So what you need to do, you will need the 2 strands of yarn like this. And I will get the length of 2.5 meters, and then grab the bigger hook for the 2 strands of yarn, and this is gonna be a simple change. This is the front side of the halter top. I will insert crochet hook on one corner of the top part, pull the yarn through, and then just change. So I will keep changing to get the length of around 21 to 23 inches long. So I will do this for both sides, and also the bottom part as well. And I forgot to mention the length of this top is around 10 inches when you measure from the top to the bottom part of the halter top. Now the top part is completed, and we need to decorate it with the beads. By doing this, we need to grab the cardboard, so I'm going to use this because I think this is the length that I need the tassels to be. So grab the yarn and then just wrap around the cardboard. So a few times until you get the thickness of these tassels, and slide it out like this. Grab the crochet hook and insert it through the middle. So I have the needles. This is where I started, so I need to do the other side. Insert the crochet hook and then start to wrap around like this a few times until it's tight, and then you just pull the yarn through and then chain one. So measure this for 10 inches and then you cut it off. 10 inches length. Cut it off, put the yarn through, and then I need to trim this part here. Then you need to get the beads. I'm gonna mix up any of these colors, and we need to use the crochet I can use a crochet hook, the smaller version, the smaller one, and you try to pull the beads through. This is my first. I'm gonna use maybe 3 of them. So black, yellow. Just mix any color of your favorite. So 3 should be enough for me. And then you have these ends left. I'm gonna use the yarn needles. So pull it in through like this. So you have the yarn needles and the tassels. Now you get the top. I want to insert these tassels with beads here on each of these. You remember when you did the double crochets here? This is a double crochet row. So I will go on the base here, and then we have 1 double crochets here, and this one. I'm gonna go in between the 1 change here. So I will do a few on this side. So let me try the first one. First one, just gonna insert it through here. And then just put the needles through the first change in between the double crochets here, and then I will insert the yarn through all these beads to get back to the tassels. So I think we're not gonna do it too tight because I want the beads to be a bit loose, and then just put the needles through the tassels. So it's very tight, and I'm gonna maybe do it once or twice just to make the ends here so it doesn't come out or it's too loose, and I will trim this end. So here is my first tassels with the beads. I will do this on the other rows. I will skip the V rows, and I will do the ones on the double crochets, the single double crochets here, and then skip 2 V rows, and then I will insert the tassels with the beads in between. So do this for both left and right side, and we will see how many. Alright guys, so the tassels and the beads got attached onto the top. So I have ended up with 6 of each side. So the total are 12. And these tops can be wearing with the shorts, skirts, pants, or any items of your favorite. And the top is size small, so that fits 32-34 inches bust size. And I really hope you liked the tutorial. I enjoy creating the video for you guys, so I really appreciate your love by clicking like, share and subscribe to my channel. And I have many more designs to come. So if you have any questions or the comment, please write it down at the comment section down below. I will get back to you when I can. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.